I wanted to share with all of you some of the interesting thoughts and ideas that were shared in Learning Experience 3. When discussing equity in reading assessment, some of the important ideas were that we need to keep equity in mind while assessing reading. Students need to be included in the assessment process and have chances to self-assess and be part of coming up with the success criteria. Also, a variety of assessment tools need to be used to target all the students' needs in order to instill confidence in our students. What we teach, and not just how we assess, needs to be thought out carefully. The curriculum should be applicable to the real world, and we need to be aware of others' cultures, beliefs, interests, and opinions in order to engage all our students. Although not all parents support their child, we should still plan for their involvement, just in case they are able to do this. Finally, giving students numerous chances to demonstrate their understanding is crucial if we really want them to reach their full potential. This is why formative assessment must be part of the mix. And this picture depicts what you guys came up with in terms of the words that you feel really represent equity in reading assessment. Throughout all of your posts about ELL learners, these are some of the things that came through. When it comes to reading assessment in ELL learners, it is so important to begin with an English language proficiency assessment so that we know exactly where the student's knowledge of the English language lies. In working with ELL students, it is important to have visual aids and personal dictionaries so that they learn the language. Also, dual language books for an idea to give them a chance to read in their own language while having the English there as well. Having the ELL students in small group instruction can help them improve. Using different forms of assessment will give us a clear picture of these ELL students' abilities. We need to be open to modifying the ELL students' program and then evaluate them on their modified expectations. Then, we can take the time to choose appropriate resources for each of them. Assessment throughout is crucial, since as the learner becomes more proficient in the language, it would be important to change supports as needed. Finally, it is not up to the ELL teachers to take full responsibility for these students. Classroom teachers should be familiar with the stages of development, since they need to know how they can best support their ELL students. Here are some different ideas from the action plans that you posted. Some diagnostic reading assessments that can be used are PMs, CASI, DRAs, Alpha Kids, and Morrison McCall, which is a vocabulary assessment for spelling needs. Other tools that have been used to see where a student is at are conferencing, reviewing of OSRs, speaking to last year's teacher, and conducting reading interest surveys to target interests and engage the students. Some formative assessment tools to gauge where a student is during the teaching are anecdotal notes, observations, checklists, rubrics, check-in conferencing, and running records. We discussed some different strategies that teachers use to help move their struggling readers ahead. And those are to create a comfortable, inclusive learning environment, conduct small group assessment focusing on word work, taking words apart, word endings, word families, practice high frequency words at home with parents, pick books strategically, reading comprehension strategies focusing on the easier to grasp ones like making connections and visualizing, allowing for more think time, pre-teaching vocabulary, develop a home reading program, provide graphic organizers, including a Go chart where students can share thoughts before, during, and after reading. More ideas were to have oral discussions before setting out to complete a task, and including drama activities to demonstrate understanding. More great strategies to include were technology, offering assignments in chunks, posting anchor charts, providing personal dictionaries, utilizing checklists, allowing for think, pair, share, and giving post-it notes to keep track of thinking. And you continued to have so many amazing ideas of different activities that can be used with these students who are struggling in their reading. Some of you offer different technology ideas. Tumblebooks and Starfall are great resources where students can practice their reading by listening to stories online and playing word games. Also, singing rhyming songs and playing rhyming bingo can be effective. Mostly, it is so important to provide positive encouragement, descriptive feedback, and recognize any small achievements made. It would be crucial to utilize parent volunteers and peer tutors and have them coached in how to use reading strategies to help students continue to improve. Also, collaborative discussions with other teachers to find as many strategies as possible to help with the struggling reader. When thinking about our students who are struggling in reading, it would be critical to offer accommodated assessments, a mix between oral, written, using technology, etc. Many of the strategies and activities that came through for struggling readers are also the same for our ELL or ESL students. Some of the activities or strategies that were a little different had to do with vocabulary. One was to introduce the vocabulary in a story through picture walks so that the students can see the pictures to help them understand what they're going to be reading about. Also, providing them with picture dictionaries is helpful in that they can make connections between the words and what they mean. Computer programs to help with vocabulary are also quite useful, depending on which translator you're using. And Reader's Theater can also help in the repetition and the practice and understanding what the story is about. A CD or recording of vocabulary is helpful so the student can hear the words that they need to learn. All of these things give them the extra boost that they need so that they can reach their full potential, just like everyone in the class. And finally, here is a collage of all the graphics that you guys posted that represent equity in reading assessment. I appreciate all that you guys contributed in this learning experience and look forward to the final one and hearing all the wonderful things you have to share in that one.